Morning. Another beautiful morning here, out walking the dog. So I thought I'd talk to you today about Section 8 housing, really being a landlord to affordable housing units, and then most importantly, some new rental amounts that have come into play, sort of Section 8 rental amount limits. So we'll talk about those at the end, because I think these new rental amounts sort of show a trend, pretty pronounced recent trend towards rent increases for affordable housing, just because the supply is getting so tight. And I really do think it's a great time to be a landlord to affordable housing units. So let's start. So first, Section 8, sort of what it is, at least from my landlord perspective. It's obviously a housing helping program where families on low income can get some assistance and not live on the streets and things of that nature. It is a program that tenants must apply for, I believe be approved for. It is it's a pretty common program, at least in my portfolio. I don't know the exact number, but we'll use some round numbers. I'd certainly guess that 30% of my tenants belong to the Section 8 program and have since I started. If you know anything about my story, I don't come from much, and I've always been comfortable in that environment. So, I'm a fan. Other landlords that I know, frankly, refuse to, deal or work with that program. I think that's kind of short-sighted. But again, the beauty of a landlord is you get to choose what you're comfortable doing. So, I'm a fan. Another just sort of caveat to that is one of the reasons I am a fan is, again, because, as you know, I'm a landlord that lives 2.5 hours away from his chosen market. And something I love about the Section 8 program is they do yearly inspections. I use these yearly inspections really for two things. First, they're great because they find small things, right? You could get frustrated, with this or that issue, but I don't, because many a times they found small problems that prevented them from becoming big problems. So I'm a huge fan of that. And also I use them as quality control. Obviously I like my property manager. I've been with them a long time. But having some independent third party come in and sort of assess them is great, because I get the report, I get the bid. Section 8 needs these things done. So I'm a huge fan all around of the program. Again, not everybody is, but I certainly am. The other thing that I think is going on is it's becoming increasingly clear that there's a shrinking supply of affordable housing units in Fresno. And I don't really think that was always the case, right? When I started 15 years ago or so, or even a decade ago, it probably was never balanced, in fairness, but it was certainly a lot closer to even, 10 or 15 years ago. It's pretty clear that there's been a lot of development. There's been a lot of outside investors coming in and cleaning up and buying. I think that's been a thing. They've been buying rundown units or low-income units, probably vacating them and doing some extensive remodeling, and really, in most cases, taking them out of being affordable. So I don't know what the attrition's been, but I would suggest probably at least 10% a year for the last 3 or 4 years for sure, right? Since the return of the housing market, it seems to be a pretty common trend to go buy the worst house that's pretty run down, fix it up, and then rent it above market. So, being a landlord who's buying affordable housing units, keeping them safe and secure housing units is probably should make you feel good. Certainly makes me feel good, and it's a pretty good business model, right? If the supply keeps going down. So the other thing I wanted to bring up real quickly is I was given a sneak peek, I believe, of what the new rental rates are going to be for Section 8 in January, and I was pretty shocked by them. So I thought I'd share at least some of them with you. So here we go. I have it on a piece of paper, so I'm reading. So studios, new rental amount is going to be $767. I don't know what it was before, but I know these are substantially higher than I expected. So again, a studio is $767. a 1-bedroom is $810. That's the one that really surprised me. I know when I bought a apartment building, it was probably 12 years ago, I was getting $450 for a 1-bedroom, and now the Section 8 limit is $810. 2-bedroom, this one also caught me, is $1,006. Right, that really hits me, because if you remember, that first house we got on Norris Drive rented for $1,195, and that was a 4-bedroom, 2-bath, 2-car garage. Now little 2-bedrooms are going to rent for $1,006. 3-bedrooms, $1,400, and then I'll just give you the last one here. I got a 4-bedroom at $1,519. I also did see that there was a 6-bedroom that was just over $2,000 limit. So in the end, I wanted you to have those rental amounts because, Section 8 for me, in some markets, Section 8's the floor. I think Section 8 in Fresno is probably the ceiling in many markets, right? Many parts of the area. It's not all areas, so sure. So in the end, I just wanted to talk to you about affordable housing, the Section 8 program, and most importantly, these new rental amounts, because I think these new rental amounts are really going to cause buyers to reconsider maybe investments that they passed on before. Because, shoot, a 2-bedroom over $1,000, that really shocked me, right? So it's I think it's a great time to be an affordable housing landlord, and I do think these are just signs of what's to come. I don't see it slowing down. I see these limits going higher. There's probably a time, not in the near future, where a 1-bedroom is $1,000. So, all right, have a good weekend. Take care.